The American War is over, but this is far from the case with the American Revolution. On the contrary, nothing but the first act of the great drama is at a close.
I always think of the Loyalists as the true losers in the American Revolution. The English lost, yeah, but as soon as they lost, they could go home and forget about it. The Patriots, of course, won. The Loyalists gave up everything in a losing cause. From their standpoint, it was a world turned upside down, and many of them never really understood what happened to them.
Before the Revolution, women were thought of as incapable of rational thought. Not just the Revolution, but Enlightenment theory as well, led to a notion that not only were women capable of rational thought, but were morally superior to men. And what this leads to in practical terms is a revolution in women's education. And we all know what happens when you get educated.
As a part of the American creed, a commitment to the ideas of equality and liberty became a part of the way that Americans thought about things in their politics and political life and so on. One effect of this emphasis on liberty and equality was that throughout the North, in one way or another, efforts were made to end the institution of slavery.
In the short term, it's a disaster for American Indians. The Americans tell them, your land has been surrendered by the British. And here the Indian peoples are absolutely shocked. They weren't defeated. The British had no right to cede these lands, and yet they find themselves now treated as a conquered people by the United States.
All of the consequences that flowed from the creation of new governments, which had all kinds of social and cultural consequences, create a world by the early 19th century which is totally different. Richard Price, the Unitarian minister and political radical in London, says this is the second greatest event in the history of the world, the birth of Christ being the first. So there is this extraordinary sense, I think, among people that something important has happened.